Hello everybody, it's the Brick Lord here, back with another Ninjago video. Today will be Ninjago ranking the season finales. I will get it out of the way now. This list was so incredibly difficult to make, and I'll just say, let's just keep in mind opinions, because I don't want anybody to get too bent out of shape if their favorite finale is not high enough on my list. This was so difficult to choose, so let's just, keep in mind opinions, and please leave your list in the comments below. I will read them, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts of what your favorite finales are. I know they will probably differ from mine, and that's okay, and I would like to hear why some of yours are higher, because overall, this is a hard topic for us to rank. But without further ado, let's get started with the video. And before I forget, this will only be seasons 1 through 13. No pilots or Day of the Departed will be included on this list. Number 13 pick is Season 8's finale, Big Trouble, Little Ninjago. The main reason this is in last place is it just does not feel super finale-ish to me personally. I mean, sure, there's the fight against the Oni Titan, but honestly, that just feels like another kind of typical monster fight in Ninjago, and it really doesn't feel finale-ish. And it really is just setting up Season 9 so the bounty could be crushed and the ninja sent to the First Realm. I mean, otherwise, this episode was fine, but it definitely did not hold up to all of the other amazing finales. Like, no, this finale did not do it, and it definitely had to be last place. With it being last place, let's talk about emotion and action, which I will do for the rest of these as well. Action, yes, it's there, but like I said, it just feels like a typical monster fight in Ninjago, nothing special. Emotion, there's some, obviously, Lloyd getting just crushed when he thinks that the other ninja that got sent to the First Realm are killed, basically, and Harumi just being brutal to him emotionally. That's fine, but overall, like I said, this finale still does not hold up to the other finales that are later to come, and so that's why it still is in last place. Number 12 pick is Season 11, Awakenings. This finale just is nothing too special, and it's definitely really rushed. I mean, there was nothing super amazing. The main episode consisted of Lloyd fighting the Ice Emperor, or Zane, and sure, the fight was fine, but it was definitely really cut short because of the other things they wanted to cram into this 10-minute episode. And action, emotion, and also memorability. For action, like I said, Ice Emperor versus Zane was fine, nothing great though. Emotion, I mean, Zane's flashback was really actually done well, and so there was good emotion there, so I will give it a little bit of points for that. Memorability, I can't imagine that too many people go back and just want to watch this finale over and over, so definitely not too memorable. Overall, this finale, definitely, the main issue it has is being rushed, and there's nothing really special about it, and so that's why it's this low on my list. Number 11 pick is Season 12, Game Over. As you guys know, I like Season 12 quite a bit, but I will say one of the weaker points of this season is its finale. Game Over, to me, is just kinda meh. Honestly, there was a lot of other episodes that I remember a heck of a lot more from Season 12 than this episode, and when somebody would say Season 12, in a way, this would not be one of the first things I would think about. Overall, let's break it down. Action, emotion, and memorability. Action, there is some action. Jay Cyber Dragon versus Unagami in his dragon form, flying through Ninjago City. It's action, but it's so bland to me. There's nothing that memorable about it, and like I said, there is so many other episodes or scenes from Prime Empire I remember so much more than this finale. Emotion, yes, there is a lot of emotion, especially between Unagami and Milton Dyer on top of Borg Tower. Now, this is where the finale is good. The emotion is so strong and it's just so well done. And but that's about all this finale has going for it. So into memorability, no. Besides the Milton Dyer scene, this finale really is not memorable. And that's why it's this low on my list. So overall, nothing too special here. We can move on. Number 10 pick is ironically season 10's finale, Endings. This finale kind of moves away from the other finales, in my opinion. We're kind of getting into the territory of better finales. Definitely not great, but not nearly as bad as the last few. And I think this finale is fine. Not great, not bad, just fine. So let's break it down. Action, emotion, and memorability. Action, I think, is good. There's the fight scene basically on the mountain of the monastery with the ninja, Master Wu, Faith, Garmadon versus the Oni. I think it's fine. It's not the best fight scene in Ninjago by far, but it's not bad. Emotion, there's some decent emotion, especially when the ninja think Lloyd may have passed, and also Lloyd trying to help Garmadon after he is kind of taken out by the Omega and Garmadon's conflicted emotions. So there is some emotion there. And going in though to memorability, I think this it's kind of there, but not really. I mean, not too many people go back and rewatch this finale. So overall, that's why it's where it is on this list. Number 9 pick is season 6, the finale, The Way Back. I will say I do like this finale, but I must acknowledge that there is a number of issues. The pacing to me just feels so like out of whack. And I mean, first it starts slow with a lot of talking between the ninja and Nauticon, and then the episode suddenly speeds up super, super quick to a very rushed scene with Nauticon versus the ninja. I mean, Nauticon seems like he picks off the ninja super, super quick, just so that the episode could rush to get to Jay's wish, and then still have time for the time reversal, and then the original scene from the premiere from Infamous where the ninja are spotted. Like, overall, this episode just feels so either rushed or slow, and the pacing is just off for me. And so that's why this episode is down lower. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad finale, and I do like the time reversal, so that's not hurting this at all. But yeah, the main thing is the episode pacing between slow and fast and rushed and everything. So that's why it's this low. Number 8 pick is season 4's finale, The Corridor of Elders. Now, I don't want anybody to get too bent out of shape, but I will say I do like this finale, but let's break this down with action, emotion, and memorability, and then I'll give you why it's lower, and you should be able to tell, but let's get into it though. So action is good. I think there's great action. I mean, all of the ninja, the elemental masters and citizens and everybody versus Chen's army, I think is good action, and it's actually pretty well done. I like the idea of being in a narrow canyon and you just basically have to fight or hold, and I think that's a nice idea. Going though then to emotion, now emotion is where this finale really hits, because a lot of it will come from Garmadon's sacrifice and Lloyd's like little flashback, and boy is the emotion good. I think the emotion is extremely well done. And Garmadon's flashback, like I said, is a great, great scene in Ninjago. But Now moving to memorability, the only thing memorable, in my opinion, from this episode is really Garmadon's flashback. I honestly think that the rest of this finale is not that memorable, and so that's why it's lower. This episode is Garmadon's flashback and nothing else, really. And that's why that this finale is lower, because the action is just not that memorable. It's still good, but like I said, Garmadon's scene really steals this whole episode. Number 7 pick is season 2. Now I know a lot of people, this is your favorite finale, and a lot of people will say that this is the best finale ever in Ninjago and nothing will ever change that. I think it's a good finale, but it's definitely not the best. So let's break it down: action, emotion, and memorability. Action is kind of there. The episode kind of starts off slow though. I mean, it's just the ninja trying to get into the basically tower fortress where the stone army are on the ground, and it really is pretty slow. And then Dareth takes control of the army, so they never really fight the stone army anymore. Lloyd does fight the overlord, and that is some pretty decent action, but not the best. And then let's move into, though, emotion. There really isn't any until the very end when Garmadon gets redeemed and purified, and there's that family reunion, which I think is actually a really, really well done scene. But otherwise, there's no other emotion necessarily. And then memorability, I will give it that. It does have a lot of memorability, because if you were an original Ninjago fan from the beginning, you absolutely will remember this episode being supposedly the last episode and the ultimate finale of Ninjago. And so I do give it that for being memorable, but otherwise, that's really not enough to save this episode. I mean, it's memorable, sure, but is it the best finale? No. I think there's a lot of other finales that are much more well done and have either more action, more emotion, more of everything, and are just more of everything, and they're just better. So that's why this finale is kind of midpoint on my list. Number 6 pick is Season 7's finale, Lost in Time. Now, I know this will definitely probably be a controversial pick on my list, but as you guys know, I love Season 7 quite a bit, but I think this finale is actually pretty well done. I like how it's a change from other finales where there's not the entire ninja team. I like actually having just Kai and Nia for our current ninja that we know and love, alongside the original elemental masters, instead of having the current elemental masters that we saw in season 4. I like that change, and honestly, I think the fighting in this episode was good. So let's break down action, emotion, and memorability. And for action, like I said, I think it's really good. You know, no part of it seems really super slow, and it seems like there's always something happening. And if it does sort of slow down, it's suspense building towards another action scene, which I think is really nice. And this episode does it well. I like how there's the original Elemental Masters with Kai and Nia, Young Wu, and Young Garmadon versus the, you could call them the older or more present Hands of Time in the Vermilion Army. It's really good. Emotion, yeah, it's there a little bit. I mean, especially at the end with Wu sacrificing himself, which I thought was really well done. And also at the end, Lloyd saying that they would look for Master Wu was also nice emotion. Now, moving to memorability, a lot of people remember this episode as not being such a great finale. I think memorability is there. Honestly, in my opinion, I really do like this episode, and so that's why I have it higher on the list than most people do. I think it's a good finale. Number 5 pick is Season 3's finale, The Titanium Ninja. As you guys know, Season 3 is my favorite season, but I don't think the finale is better than some other seasons. I still think the finale is really good, so let's break down action, emotion, and memorability. I think that the action is pretty actually well done. There's good fight scenes against the ninjroids, the ninja going against the overlord, bouncing on his, like, I guess, what do you call that, golden, like, rubbery, like, stretching that he put out across the city. And also when the overlord used his powers to, like, make the cars block the ninja, or use the roof tiles to make, like, a hand and try to smash the ninja. I thought all that action was really good. And so there is action, so points for that. Moving to emotion. Now, this is where the episode is really, really held highly to, is emotion, especially Zane's sacrifice. I think that is one of the greatest of all time scenes in Ninjago, and also probably the saddest, if not one of the saddest scenes in Ninjago. So emotion is incredibly high and is superbly well done in this season. And so emotion, excellently well done. And then lastly, memorability. Yeah, this episode is definitely memorable, especially for Zane's sacrifice, but overall, it's a pretty memorable episode, and a lot of people do like this episode. So honestly, this episode is really good, and this finale is great. There's just personally other finales I like more, but definitely none of these finales that we're in right now are bad in any way. Number 4 pick is Season 1's finale, which is 2 parts, Rise of the Great Devourer and Day of the Great Devourer. And I want to say now that this is so hard to choose these top few, and honestly, this could have been number 1, 2, or 3, but this list was so difficult to choose. But let's get into the great things about this finale. So first, it's 2 parts, which already makes it good. And the first episode is one of my favorite episodes from Season 1 because it's such a unique episode, with it being kind of a mobile fight episode where the ninjas are chasing down Pythor's snake train and fighting basically on a mobile fortress, which is so cool. And the Serpentine are rushing to get to the city of Ouroboros, and the ninja are desperately trying to stop them. I think that's so good. So action is really good, and that's only the first episode. And for more action, the fights against the Devourer in the next episode are incredible. We have the ultrasonic raider scene versus the Devourer, and then also when the Devourer's in the city, them trapping the Devourer around the building so that then Garmadon could destroy it was great action. So perfectly done action in this finale. Incredibly well done. Moving to emotion, yeah, there's definitely emotion in the first part of the finale. After the Devourer is arisen, then Wu and Pythor get supposedly ate by it, and Pythor, we thought, got killed until Season 3, and even Master Wu. So emotion was definitely running high with this scene, and also more emotion with the scene with the ninja in the ultrasonic raider. When the Devourer crushes it, then Zane gets his face damaged, which I thought was also pretty decent emotion. And also even Garmadon, to an extent, when he's telling the Devourer that it's time for him to bite the Devourer back for what the Devourer did to him. I think that's also good emotion as well. Overall, good stuff for emotion. And let's move to memorability. Well, duh, this episode, or episodes really, are super, super memorable. Yeah, these episodes are great, and boy, was it kind of hard to choose these finales for the top, like, 4 spots. And overall, though, this finale is absolutely, undoubtedly, one of the most incredible Ninjago finales that will probably ever be around. And we are at the top 3, but before we move on, please, please, once again, leave your list in the comments below. I know this will definitely be a harder list to rank. I'm even having difficulties when ranking these choosing what is the best of the best for finales. So give it all your all, and please give me your list. I will read them. But without further ado, the number 3 pick is Season 9, Green Destiny. This finale is so good, and boy does it deliver in almost every front, basically. So let's break it down: action, emotion, and memorability. Action is absolutely incredible in this episode. I mean, boy is it good. So you have the ninja that they return from the first realm, and then they will be fighting the Oni Titan with their dragons, and then Lloyd and Master Wu will go head to head with Garmadon, and both are really, really good scenes. And the ninjas fighting the Oni Titan is just great, and it made Kai also feel like a good character for a little while again. And then Lloyd and Wu versus Garmadon was just awesome. You know, it was such a great fight where Garmadon was just basically pure evil in this scene and just did everything to stop Lloyd and Master Wu. And boy, was that good. Moving though into emotion, yeah, there was some good emotion with, like, Lloyd and Garmadon, when Lloyd's finally like, I cannot fight you, but I can resist you and stuff. And then basically when Garmadon at the end was like that the Oni will come and stuff. So, not a lot of emotion, but definitely good emotion for what there was. And then memorability. I think a lot of people remember this finale, and it's one of the best parts, in my opinion, of the Oni and Dragon trilogy. And I think a lot of people would agree that Hunted is the best part of the Oni trilogy, and especially this finale, which is so incredible. Number 2 pick is Season 13's finale, which in my opinion is kind of 2 parts, so I did include both title cards: the Upley Strike Back and the Son of Lily. Overall though, this finale is so good. This is the most recent season at the time of this video, but boy is this finale incredible. It is so well done. So let's break down action, emotion, and memorability. And starting with action, boy is it just amazing. So Cole versus the Skull Sorcerer is so well done. It's so well choreographed, and it's just such a great fight scene, and it's refreshing to see kind of a really good one-on-one duel with one of our hero ninjas versus the main villain, and it done right. I mean, like I said, done correctly, because think about Season 11. Sure, it was Lloyd versus the Ice Emperor, which was done poorly, and it was a duel between one of our heroes and the main villain, and Season 13 did it incredibly well. Moving though then, also for other action, I mean, all the other ninja, Munson Geckles, and the Upley were fighting the Awakened Warriors, which was one of the best fights ever in Ninjago. It was so incredibly choreographed, and oh my goodness, it was just amazing. Then emotion was really good, especially Cole's mini flashback during his fight with the Skull Sorcerer was so well done. And then also, at the end with the Cole and all the ninjas saying goodbye to everybody, and especially with Cole saying goodbye to Princess Vania. And then with Wu also saying that for their next adventure, they'll just go where the wind takes them. So overall, emotion was really, really well done. And then memorability, my goodness, I think that this season's finale will go down as one of the most memorable, especially since it was a Cole-focused season and finale, and people will remember that for a long, long time. And number 1 pick is Season 5's finale, CURSEWORLD Part 1 and Part 2. boy, is this finale epic. As you guys know, Season 5 is one of my favorite seasons, and the finale is so amazing, and that's part of the reason why I love Season 5. So let's dive right in to the amazing stuff about this finale, with action, emotion, and memorability. For action, it starts off where the ninja have to invade Styx, and Lloyd kind of goes undercover to try to get close to the realm crystal, while some of the other ninja go undercover as like the tea workers and food people, and then eventually start fighting off the ghosts while Lloyd goes to the realm crystal. And then everything just goes and breaks loose in the second half, and the fighting just becomes intense, with all of the ninja trying to stop the preeminent and fighting off the ghosts. And then Lloyd, as soon as he gets out of the preeminent, then he goes in a massive duel against Moro between different realms. So the action is so perfect in this finale. It's incredible. And then emotion, yeah, there's emotion. Moro's redemption is so perfectly well done. Him and Master Wu, it was so great how Moro basically, realized what he was doing and then let Master Wu save Lloyd. So Moro's redemption, great, great emotion. And then also Lloyd reconnecting with his dad inside the preeminent or the cursed realm was so good. It was so perfectly well done. So Lloyd emotion was great. And then lastly, memorability. I think this finale is so memorable for Moro's redemption, Lloyd's emotion with his dad, and the overall just preeminent stuff was great. And also thinking on memorability, Nia's true potential, which also has action, emotion, and memorability. So overall, that's why this finale has to be number one for me. And that concludes my Ninjago ranking the finales video. I know this video was super long and was kind of a doozy, but if you stuck around through the entire video, you are just absolutely amazing. You are such a trooper, and I thank you for that. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I know this is a type of video that a lot of people like to see Ninjago YouTubers do with ranking the seasons and finales and stuff. So I really do hope you enjoyed this. And once again, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. I will read them. And without too much else to say, if you could please like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated for more support. And otherwise, I will see you all in the next video. Bye!